Many hellos. You're tuned in to the Rewind Guys podcast, the show where we watch, discuss, and rate old movies, new movies, movies that defined our childhoods, and others we've never seen or even heard of before. This week, it's all about getting the highest score in a game that probably no one should be playing. Because we're talking about the Frighteners. So put your feet up, take a load off, and don't forget the popcorn. Because the show is about to begin.
Quite a good scene, isn't it? One man crazy, three very sane spectators.
Welcome back to the Rewind Guys podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Andrews, joined by Mike Andrus.
What's up?
Rusel Andrews.
Welcome to Walmart.
And Isaiah Page.
Welcome.
This week, we're talking about The Frighteners. This is a horror comedy filmed here in the U.S., released July 19th, 1996, has a runtime of 1 hour and 50 minutes, and is rated R. This movie stars Michael J. Fox as Frank Bannister.
You don't eat, you don't drink, you don't go to the bathroom. All that shit's over with.
Trini Alvarado as Dr. Lucy Linsky.
It's your mother, isn't it? Your mother's the one who's been hurting you.
And Jake Busey as Johnny Bartlett.
I've been carrying on the good work. Got me a score of 40.
This film had a budget of about $30 million and made $29.3 in the box office. This movie was directed by Peter Jackson. Isaiah, this is your pick. Explain yourself.
I remember seeing this when I was younger. I remember liking this when I was younger. I still like it, but I do.
There's some hesitation there.
I do have some qualms with this movie at this point, but I do still like it.
Like it? Okay.
I do have some problems.
Why did I feel a question mark?
Yeah, I know. Okay.
I want to say this real quick. Jake Busey. Never knew that was his name.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, he looks a lot like his fucking dad.
Oh, like Spitting Image.
Yeah.
Spitting Image. Obviously, as I said, this is a horror comedy, and I want to ask this is a different time era. This is 96, so we've come a long way. Right. And I'm not saying that I don't see the comedic elements, but did this even get so much as a chuckle out of any of you?
I couldn't help but laugh at the fact that Michael J. Fox looks like two children in a trench coat.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
The whole time I'm like, why are all of his clothes too big for him?
Oh, man.
All of them.
Children in a trench coat. And also, he drives like shit.
Oh my god, yeah. I like the driving.
He drives like an asshole.
Oh, thank you.
Running over every fucking curb, picking every shortcut.
When he went over that first curb in the first driving scene, I was like, wait, holy shit, he's really in a hurry. And then he proceeded to hit everything else, and I'm like, oh, he's just shit.
And then it's like, how does he have a car that old that survived that long with the way that he drives?
Because fuck everything.
I get that his driving is supposed to be one of the comedic elements, but man, it pissed me off more than anything.
Yeah, by the end of the movie, he was so bad at driving. I'm like, it makes sense the way your wife went.
So many oh my god. He just crashed so many times.
Off to a great start.
I don't even know. It was so frustrating. So frustrating to me. But yeah, nothing about this movie was funny. And the baggy clothes, maybe that's just a sign of the 90s.
Hey, I like the ghosts. They were funny to me.
Okay, like, yeah. When you introduced the movie just now and you said that it was a horror comedy, I was surprised because I didn't know that. I thought it was just supposed to be like a horror movie.
Right.
I thought it was just supposed to be a comedy. I was actually...
Ooh.
Because I didn't...
Two sides of the fence here.
I mean, there were some funny parts, but I didn't know that it was enough to necessitate the title of comedy.
I was actually interested when I was looking up specifically to see what the genre was because, to me, I didn't think it was a horror movie, but I also didn't think it was a comedy. So
I thought it was like same style as House.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I could see that, yeah.
It's horror, but it's not scary. It's supposed to just be funny.
Oh, man, but they don't put comedy on House, man.
Maybe not.
Are you
genre's not
kidding me?
there.
Did you not watch that movie?
I'm not saying it's
that
not.
whole movie was funny.
I'm not saying it's not funny. I'm just saying when you look it up, that's not the title it's given.
The
wicked will be punished.
I have so many questions about this damn movie.
Oh, me too.
Nothing. Like, here's the thing. Face value, it kind of makes sense. But if you pay even a hair of attention to this movie, nothing makes sense.
You don't make
Nothing makes sense. Everything is all over the place with this fucking
I was
movie.
on cruise control through this movie. I'm curious to see what you had problems with.
I was confused too. It was like every 10 minutes it was a new movie. I don't know what the heck was going on.
Actually,
the physics
there's one
change constantly throughout this movie.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, why can a ghost sometimes do this and sometimes do that? Then I realized, like, I don't know how ghosts work, so maybe that's normal.
All right, ghost expert, tell us how it's supposed to be.
I want to
I left that alone.
I
don't
want to
know.
just dump on all of this, but
Dump
I'll
on me,
try and get it all out when it gets there. I'll just try and relax and push it out when it gets there.
No, you started off strong if you're relaxing.
We open up with a scene of this woman running frantic and scared through this house. What is she running from? Anybody? Answer this question.
She's
Not.
carpet.
She's running too.
No.
Sorry.
I like that though.
Is it
fucking walls or the carpet?
Is it the
No.
wallpaper?
You would think so, yes. The movie shows you that, but really she's running away from bad CG. That's what it is. That's what.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my first note.
Okay.
Is that CG though?
And if you're gonna bitch about it, remember when it came out?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the funny part. That's what I'm trying to keep in mind because I wrote so many notes wanting to bash the
I
CG
do
in
want
this
to
movie.
say, for the time with CG not being that great, they chose to use a fucking lot of it.
They did.
Yes, yes, they did. I think they were trying to be trailblazers, and that was supposed to be like the selling point of this movie because look at all these awesome effects, you know? But I mean, I don't know. She's running through the house. There's an even older woman in this house, apparently her mother.
I was so confused when this was happening.
Yeah, I know, and I think you're supposed to be. I think this is supposed to be kind of
Was
like
it supposed to continue like that confusion throughout the whole movie? Because that's where I was.
Actually, I think kind of the opposite. Okay, I'm not going to say that this is not confusing. The beginning certainly is confusing. Okay, to get past this, the old woman shoots the carpet that is the ghost, but then rematerializes in its spirit form and it's like, wah! Into the title of the movie.
How are you going to shoot a ghost?
Let's talk about the physics of the movie right here. There should be no reason she can't. Because
Fully anointed bullets.
apparently ghosts are actually manipulated and have a lot more to do with the material plane than you would think.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Occasionally.
sometimes.
Okay, I will say this though. There's a running theme through this movie, like Patrick said, that these ghosts can have a lot more interaction with the physical plane. Like when I was a kid, this shit's funny. Now it's just kind of like that don't make sense.
Speaking of the ghosts have interaction, I was kind of disappointed in the direction the movie went because I thought this was going to be what the movie was about, honestly.
Ooh, interesting.
But
What?
it comes up, it's when he's basically just scamming people with the ghosts.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of that, and I kind of wish they did more with it.
That's what I thought too. I
Yeah.
thought that's what was going to be the movie, and then after,
Because it seemed like that
little
was the
bit.
big reveal. It's like when they got to them, it's like, hey, you guys made me really look bad in there. It's like you didn't even shake the toilet lid at all. Like,
And the worst part is the little bit that they did have of this, because I'm on your side. They should have had more of that. That would have been awesome. I think they could have played on that a lot more. But instead, no, they don't. And the hauntings that they do are really cheesy. Russell, you're a first-time watcher.
yeah.
Mike, have you seen this before?
nope.
Okay, I want to ask this. In the first maybe 20 minutes of this movie, did you feel like you were being force-fed everything?
A little bit.
Because I feel
I
like
think they were being force fed the wrong info.
You think so?
I think they were trying to create a narrative that the old lady was the bad person.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
Oh, man. It just seems
Because they
so
had her
obvious.
being so like yelling crazy shit and shooting the carpet with a shotgun.
Well, going
I
back,
refuse to refer to it as a ghost. It's the carpet.
Yeah.
like going back and watching this again from like forever ago, since it's been forever. To me, I still thought, oh yeah, the old lady was the bad guy. It had like until I got two set parts in the movie, and it's like, oh yeah, wait a minute.
Because I've seen this a long time ago, and honestly, watching this, apparently, I remembered extremely little of this movie.
It's not memorable. It's
Well,
not.
it really
it's,
isn't.
It's good, but not memorable.
Watch your words. You said the word good in there. I think that was an accident.
I still find it a good movie. Shut your face.
Here's the deal. Like, okay, I can't answer this completely because I've seen this before, so I do remember little bits. But I feel like I'm like maybe half an hour in, and I'm just like, the way the dialogue is and everything, it just feels like everything is just like put right in your face. That's just me, I guess. We go to one of my favorite parts, one of very few favorite parts of this movie. We get this really cool, like, old newsreel flashback explaining about the murders that happened in this little town. John Charles Bartlett apparently is
Charles Barkley?
Charles Barkley
Right?
Oh, damn.
is apparently like a notorious murderer in this town. He went on a killing spree back in the day, and he murdered 12, yes. He managed to kill 12 people in 27 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's all this
that was
stuff.
Just some
That'd
rookie
be-
numbers,
that'd be
honestly.
a
You could have stepped
record,
that
though.
up.
Well, this is back in the day.
He said
come
he
on.
beat a record.
Yeah.
But he was trying to surpass more of them.
Yeah, he beat a record apparently from this guy in like, or the guy's name was like Starkweather or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was like,
And Starkweather killed, I think,
11.
yeah.
Just get a semi-auto. It's not that hard, I feel like.
I don't
He was
know.
in a hospital.
Yes.
They were bedridden.
Okay, he
That's
was in a
not difficult.
hospital with a double barrel shotgun.
That was his first mistake.
Yes, it was.
How are you going to get a high score?
He would have
With
done
2
better
shells.
with probably a knife, honestly.
I said rookie numbers.
But no, even in this newsreel, he is like doing this like maniacal laugh. You know, I'm public enemy #1. Woo! He's like all excited. And we learned the lady right here who cut her hand was his
Girlfriend, I think.
girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
Yes. And she was, madly in love. And this is what I'm saying. When you're
She
watching,
helped him.
when you're watching all this stuff, I just feel it's pushed in your face what like is going on here. Like, it doesn't take much longer after this point. Like I said, about 30 minutes in, I feel like you can figure out what the hell's going together. Especially when you know, like, spirits and all that shit are actually happening. Because pretty soon here, we do get...
You're saying, like, it's not much later, like 30 minutes after. The movie was like an hour and 10 minutes long.
The movie is almost 2 hours long.
Was it? I
Yes.
swear it said it was only an
Bullshit,
hour.
because the last 15 minutes of my recording was literally voodoo, and it just sat there for 15 minutes. I'm
I
like,
swear on HBO it was only an hour.
That
and
might
15
be
minutes.
true. However, one site I went to said it was 2 hours and 4 minutes, and the other one said it was an hour and 50, and I took the latter.
Yeah, it is an hour and 50 because once I realized that your recording was like a large percentage of just voodoo. I wanted to see how long the movie was, so I went back to the spot where it actually ended.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, the credits are rolling. There's still 20 minutes of this movie left. What happens after the credits? So like I'm like kind of like scooting along.
I
real quick.
tried to
did
forewarn
too.
you
I
guys.
was just like, wait. Hey, you said you were going to go back and fix it.
Yeah, and then I was like, fuck it, I don't care.
Wow.
I missed out on this.
Oh, yeah, you didn't miss much.
You
Wait a minute. I like how we're just like
It rent for $3.99. Own SD. I'm just like, oh,
we're
okay.
publicly announcing that he pirated this movie.
Hey,
What the hell is this doing here? I thought I tore this up. Did he come back to the house?
Who?
That moron that tore up my fence! He's alive!
We now get that ghosts and spirits actually exist and that this Frank Bannister guy isn't just crazy. The bed starts levitating and shit's flying around the room, and I wonder if this was done on purpose, but not only does a doll look like it's coming to life, but it's a Raggedy Ann doll. And the most famous haunted doll is a Raggedy Ann doll. Don't know if you guys knew that.
well,
That
I do now.
explains everything.
Thank you.
That is
I'm glad I can help
I
you
have
out.
like 10 of those in my house, and they're constantly stabbing me with knives.
Well, now you know.
It's like he fights back with pillows all the time. He
I
just
know.
does nothing to them.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Oh, man. She finds Frank Bannister's card, which are like, they're just always there because it's
thought I tore that up.
That's part of the scam. That's how this works. He's actually kind of against calling him. And here's the thing, even when he shows up, this guy is so eye-rolly at him being there taking care of these supposed ghosts. And I'm like, I don't care how much of a con man you think this guy is. Shit was just flying around your house.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I mean, if
believe
he
it, not
has a
gonna lie.
strong belief that ghosts and stuff don't exist, you know, so strong, maybe he's a man of science.
He's a man
He's
of don't have
obviously
brains, though.
extremely intelligent man.
Bullshit. We saw him at
Yes.
the beginning. You're towards the beginning.
Oh,
He is
man.
an idiot.
This is really the only reason why Mike wanted to go to this house specifically. Because he goes there, he's like, yeah, I could take care of this, but, you know, it's kind of a call after hours. All this is going on, yada, yada, yada. It's going to cost like $450 or We could just call it even on the fence I drove into earlier.
Like instead of calling him Frank, you called him Mike.
Yeah, I was really confused by that. I was like, why am I going to this house?
Right?
Michael J. Fox shows up. I'm probably going to do that a lot. They agree to the terms and conditions. He brings out this weird old radio with a light and a fan. He brings out a gun, squirt gun filled with holy water. He just shoots
I
it
actually
around.
laughed my ass off when he pulled the gun out. And I was like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, it's a squirt gun.
Comedy at its
It's a
finest.
toaster and a squirt gun.
Where do you
Yes.
get a squirt gun that realistic?
I know.
That was
90s.
like.
The 90s.
And, you know, actually, maybe because I've seen other movies where they have realistic squirt guns like that. Shit gets real when he's trying to finish up and get out of there, and he sees the number 37 glowing on Ray's forehead. But this even takes Frank off guard, even though he sees apparently the weirdest shit on a day-to-day basis. But this throws him for a loop. Okay, fine, whatever. Okay, I'm on board. Mike goes back to his unfinished house that he's building himself because he used to be an architect or whatever.
Wow, Mike,
Frank.
I didn't know this about you.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I'm
Shaky
a bit of a
J.
failure.
For future reference, if I say Mike, I'm referring to Michael J. Fox in the movie because it's easier for me for some reason to refer to him as Mike rather than Frank.
Just so you know, we're not going to take it as that.
Let's just restart. We're here with Frank Andrus. We'll just switch the names. It's perfect.
Yes, I like that. That's going to make it way easier for me.
I don't like this.
So,
Your name has been changed. I'm sorry.
Frank goes back to his unfinished house.
What the fuck? I didn't go anywhere. So dumb.
Can't get past that. Jesus Christ.
So we got Nerd, Mr. Disco, and the judge and his dog.
I hated these guys.
And yes,
I didn't like
thank
any
you.
of these characters.
The judge was kind of funny
Disco
up
was-
until the museum.
Disco,
Oh my god, the museum. Yeah, okay.
Disco
Okay.
was the best of them, but he was still terrible.
Actually, you know what? The dog was the best of them.
Hey, I love
the dog,
Disco.
the dog
Disco-
died, obviously.
Yeah, we never seen him
They were
again.
all dead, though.
But that's what I mean. Like the dog died, though. I mean, the dog
Okay,
was dead.
I get it's for comedic reasons, but they really amped up the stereotypes on the Nerd and Mr. Disco, and I think that's what kind of drove me nuts about him.
Yeah.
But okay, fine, fair enough. I actually really liked the judge, and I actually liked him because he was kind of normal up until the museum scene, and then that just kind of like, oh, come on, really? You had to do this to this guy? This is where one point of my physics with these ghosts gets on my nerves. The nerd guy gets stuck in the door. What?
He forgot how to ghost.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, there's also a scene where like Frank elbows one of the ghosts like in the face or something, and I'm just thinking, how is this? How are you doing?
Actually,
this?
you know what? That kind of does suck because
Like, it's
my
a-
only thing I thought was consistent with the ghosts was that they couldn't interact directly with people.
Yes.
But,
But
that,
they
was,
can,
that was a
sometimes.
running thing. with
Yes,
him being able to
But
hit
there's
ghosts.
actually at least two scenes where they directly interact with the person because that's the only thing they didn't do that often.
There was
where I
a-
thought that was the only rule of the ghosts.
I was gonna say it's like he is able to interact with them, but there was a couple scenes where when he tried to interact with the ghost, he just went right through like he should have. I'm just like, I'm very fucking confused.
Well, here's the thing. I took it that because of his weird mystical ghost powers, he could control whether he wants to go through or make contact with, like physically make contact. So I was willing to brush that off, except for there are other scenes where he tries and it fails. So I guess it kind of works on both parties. Like, you can only be touched if you also want to be touched. You know what I mean? I don't want to be touched.
He didn't want that.
That's okay.
But okay, so here's some more stuff. Okay,
It's just like the movie. Nothing actually works.
so yes. So while he's here, and this is what annoys me. Okay, we learn ghosts age, apparently. Okay,
I think it's like decay. The
Okay.
longer they stay without going to light, their
Fair enough.
ethereal form kind of decays.
fair enough. I will take that.
They
It's
get
perfectly
ectoplasmic
fine.
dysfunction.
I'm going to take
Just
all
saying.
that into consideration because it still doesn't matter what I have to say a little bit later on.
Okay, that's fair.
So back at Frank's house, we learn
Mike's
that
house.
ghosts age or deteriorate. Ghosts are affected apparently by bug spray.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. He's,
Because the fly. Why was the
Okay.
fly able to land on the ghost nose?
okay, so this is one of the things I was disappointed with. Yeah, I wanted it to be a 1 second gag, and they would have moved on.
Okay.
He would have been there at his table. He kills the fly. Fly lands dead, and a little ghost fly flies up and goes around him.
I was waiting for
I
that.
thought it was like it killed it, and then it was a ghost fly. I'm just like,
I was.
I was so disappointed there was no little ghost fly. They could have been done with it right after that.
that would have been funny as fuck.
I
though.
don't remember this movie, so when it got there, I was actually waiting for that, and it didn't happen.
Same. I was
That
so
would have been
disappointed.
hilarious. That would have probably been the funniest part of the whole movie.
It would have been good.
Did the nerd guy die of herpes? I mean, what is with his face?
No, if you look at all the ghosts throughout the movie, they're all deteriorating like that.
Not
Yeah.
Mr. Disco, who looks like he's older and been dead longer than the
Black
nerd
don't crack.
guy. Oh wait, no, maybe is the nerd supposed to be? Is the nerd supposed to be from the 50s? Actually, now I think about it. He looks like he could have been like maybe a 50s type.
Could have been.
Yeah, but what's bodybuilder guy or wannabe bodybuilder guy? What's his name?
Ray.
Ray. He deteriorates way faster. That's the only
Yes.
reason I realized they were deteriorating is because he kept getting worse. I'm like, oh yeah, they're all getting worse.
All I can say is I do not know how Ghost World works.
Yes,
So
this is
perhaps
bullshit.
no. Wait, hold on here. If we're gonna play with the logic of ghosts in this movie, you could say that the rate of deterioration could be backed up by things they did in their life. Like, oh, if you were a bad person, you're going to be a ghost longer, so you'll deteriorate slower. And if you're a good person, or if you did that, or how many times you died, I mean, who knows?
Okay.
You're a ghost.
That is actually very logical. Yes. You are putting so much thought and logic into this, and it doesn't need it. Doesn't need
just
it.
like it doesn't deserve
But
it.
here's the thing, because I looked at it like, okay, you got the Wild West guy, the judge, who is practically gone, which makes sense because he's from way back in the day.
Yeah.
You got apparently, now that I'm taking it, the nerd guy who does look like, now I think about it, like from the 50s or something. And then you got the 70s guy. And if you go by those three, the judge is almost gone, nerd guy does look like he's deteriorating, and the 70s guy still looks okay. So it makes sense. So when it's been like 2 days and Ray looks like he's like just shedding like crazy on his face, that doesn't make sense.
Maybe he doesn't take care of himself. He's drinking a lot of ghost beers, doing a lot of crack.
Maybe.
Ghost stress.
I don't get me wrong.
Stress is poison to the body, Patrick.
You guys, I'm not gonna lie, these are valid ideas.
This is all valid, but fuck you.
These are all valid ideas, but I just think you guys are getting way deep into a movie that they're not looking
We're
for
just
it.
trying to get you more involved.
Oh man, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Even if you guys could validly explain the deterioration part of this movie, there's so many other things that just
I'm not
don't
saying I
make
can explain
sense.
it.
We're
I'm
just
just saying you can't
No,
It was a
go
weird.
against it because who knows?
Right.
It
no.
was a very weird thing for them to have
yeah.
him deteriorate.
You're right.
So
I'm just-
quickly.
It is
I'm just saying,
strange.
ghost physics in this movie are all over the place.
Also,
Ghost physics.
What's the serial killer was around for 4 years without any deterioration?
Because he's killing people and absorbing the strength of their soul.
How about this?
You know,
How about this?
That can make sense.
He's been around for 4 years. In the past couple days, he is offing people left and right. 4 years, and he's only at number 30. Well, when this started, I don't even know what we started at. But
He did like 10 in 2 days.
yes, he's been doing this for 4 years in this town with Frank Bannister, who's been at every funeral around
also,
all these people, and he's
if
just now picking up on the
if
shit.
He's only been doing it for 4 years. How does girlfriend go from 15 to 40?
Age just did not do her justice.
Either that or
Why did she deteriorate faster than everybody else?
Persistent residue of the departed. It's always a problem this time of year. Frank Bannister, I believe you called. Not a minute too soon. Oh, boy.
Frank, she just.
Shut up.
Frank, it's no use. She.
Uh-huh. Oh, this is bad. Recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis. Yeah. This could be the worst case I have ever seen.
I apologize for calling you, Mr. Bannister. Please leave.
What the hell are you trying to do to me?
Here's another thing I want to complain about. So the nerd and Mr. Disco, go to this gigantic mansion, and they're going to haunt this witch lady because it's probably some quick cash, I'm sure. They go there. They make her 3 children fly around the room. And of course, his business card is
This
there.
pissed me off.
Okay, so his business card is there. Now, wait a second here. She calls him up. And she quickly brushes him off because she has a newspaper that, like, explains that he is a fraud. Don't trust this guy. But your kids were just flying.
Okay, so
He
this
is,
pissed
but
me off, but I
isn't a
just had a good
fraud.
thought about this. She saw in the paper that he's a fraud. So I was like, oh shit, this guy's a fraud. I got to get a better psychic detective to come take care of my ghost problem. She just didn't want him. They don't say she didn't call someone else.
So in this tiny town, they have
good.
more than one paranormal
Multiple stages.
investigator?
Maybe she's gonna call someone from out of town.
Yeah.
Have him flown in.
And she's still not blown away at the fact that her kids We're just flying. Now she's just kind of pissed that the scammer guy is in her house.
No, I was also annoyed that she just decided to completely ignore the fact that her kids were flying.
Look at all the stuff going on in that town lately. It's just another day.
Yes.
Is it though?
She wants him out because she shows the paper to him like, look, you're a fraud. Get the hell out. I don't want you in here. And so he goes to Karen it up at the local Gazette to complain with the head editor.
Lady.
Yeah, the very posh head news lady. She doesn't care. Just get out. But I do like when he leaves, he runs into the only punk in this whole hick town. And then when he crosses the street, he is hit by the hearse.
It was literally a funeral procession that he got hit by.
The slowest moving vehicle. The driver should have seen Frank.
The driver just didn't care. He was making more work.
He never even stopped.
make more
Everybody
money,
just
damn
kept rolling down the street. Nobody gave a shit.
I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna
I
miss
think
Frank.
this whole town knows Frank.
Okay.
If Frank's doing his drunk stumbling in the road, just give him a little boop. He'll get out of the way.
Ray runs into him, actually. Again, ghost physics. I don't know why he's running through everything else because he can't control it, but now he bumps into Frank, conveniently, of course. And they just...
He also ran through like 5 other people. He only
Yes.
knocked down Frank.
That's what I'm saying. And he
I
can't
think it's
control...
because he was coming after Frank and was focused on Frank.
And
That's a good point.
that's... Okay. Thank you for making that make sense. That's logical.
You're welcome.
All Ray wants to do is get to his own funeral. He has like this run-in, even though he's at the cemetery like all the time. He gets there this time, and this general dude is giving him a hard time.
What, yeah, I was gonna say, what's this guy's name? I know he's really famous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gunny
He is.
Sergeant Ermy.
And he always plays this character.
Yeah.
Always.
Always. He's the best character. He's the best at it, and he's fucking awesome for it.
But yeah, so, and
Yeah,
here's,
he dead now, but
again,
still.
where it's Frank can touch Ghost, but when he's fighting this guy, he can't touch him, but this guy can touch him, and it's like, ghost bullets don't affect the living, but then everything else they conjure up can. I'm confused. Very confused.
If you shoot a gun in real life, the bullet has a ghost that comes out. Where are they getting these ghost bullets?
I don't know. This whole thing is so stupid. It's so stupid.
So this funeral scene
awkward.
that they're at is great.
Okay, I want to know your reasons why.
The ghost here, he's like getting all cracked up and he's so sad over his own funeral. Like he's leaning in, he's looking at you, all of a sudden he's like, "Oh shit!" He falls. And
Yes.
like, that actually got me. Like the sudden change from like him being so sad to just "Oh shit" as he goes to fall in.
And then all of a sudden the fucking casket, he sees his face.
He tells the sheriff, let me pay my last respects. He bends down as somebody puts a shovel of dirt on there, but then we cut to a far shot and there's nobody
They were
around.
never there.
And the shovels are leaning up against this other like headstone.
Yeah, that was the last shovel of dirt. They walked away.
Yeah,
after
you
that.
know,
They must have ran.
They
as
fucking
the movie
boogied.
Hell
went
yeah, that
on,
graveyard's haunted as shit.
I started to wonder if there were ever really any ghosts or if Frank is just a complete nut job.
Yeah.
I would've
I
liked-
started
I
to
would've
get
liked
this
that.
idea where, like, I think he's just completely just gone.
To touch on the acting for just a second, I will say I think maybe Michael J. Fox was one of the better ones. And the guy
I
who...
thought his acting sucked balls.
No, it
There were
wasn't.
some scenes.
I'm not saying it was great. I'm just saying it was okay based on everybody else's performance. The weird FBI guy was kind of funny, but he was annoying as shit and didn't need to be in this movie.
Wait, you're talking Agent Milton
Dammers?
Dammers.
Yes.
This
I
guy.
thought he was okay. I feel like they should have had Jim Carrey play this guy because it looked like Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
He kind of acted like Jim
it
Carrey.
freaked me out because there was a ton
You
of
are
scenes
invading
where
my
he
territorial
looked just
bubble.
like
I
Jim
know,
Carrey to the
like-
point where I was like, "Wait, who's this guy
Jim
again?"
Carrey look-alike.
I actually, especially acting wise, liked FBI Dammers.
Yeah.
That guy, like, he was so crazy that he just, like, you can't not like him. He got really old really quickly to
Yeah.
me.
To me,
I think
a really
he had the
uncomfortable
funniest
character.
line in the movie. We'll get to that later.
Ooh, interesting.
The funniest line. The only thing that I laughed at in the movie.
Intriguing. We cut to the police station because a death was reported. The doctors already examined the body, by the way. This all happens very quickly, apparently, in this town. And he says, of course, that an autopsy needs to be done to be sure, but it looks like another heart attack. But Frank was at the scene.
He was seen running from the scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the sheriff. Honestly, he's probably one of my favorite characters. He is so laid back and doesn't care
Yeah.
about anything. Even when everybody else is thinking like Frank is the murderer, he's just like
He's just so casual about it.
he's just like it's Frank.
Yeah. Well, this goes back to I think everyone knows this bastard.
He's gone.
There's no money for you here, Mr. Bannister.
You're next.
Are you threatening me?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
He's threatening to kill me.
Relax, all right?
He is
Just listen to me.
threatening to kill me. He is threatening
Bannister.
to kill me.
Oh, great. Hey, fellas. What are you doing?
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Put the gun away, all right? Just...
Please.
All right, everybody, just take it easy. Whoa, hey.
Frank is in his car, pretty far from the museum, sees this like heavenly light shining down upon the museum, which means the person that died there, which by the way was that news reporter guy, doesn't really matter, I guess, but it was him. So this guy should be going to heaven at this moment.
That motherfucker boogie like a son of a bitch.
He has time to drive across town to the museum, get into the museum to lock eyes with this guy as he steps into the light and goes up. I feel like he missed his window of opportunity by this point.
Also, that's got to be a really annoying like power to have. Just imagine like, especially because he got a house with a view. He's just gonna see lights coming down all over town all the fucking time.
Man, boy, how far that fucking museum was, he's got fucking serial killer powers where you can all of a sudden just be there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody's running away and he's just walking. All of a sudden he's there. Holy
Doesn't
shit!
make sense to me.
He's got serial killer powers. It's not serial killer, but he's got serial killer powers.
Okay,
He is the killer, man.
Oh,
Something weird about this fucking guy and the Dr. Lucy person. They're fucking nuts.
yeah. They. Oh my god. Maybe they are the two.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah,
they're the
I'm
Frighteners
feeling
too?
like the ghost stuff didn't really happen, and it's like a metaphor for them going around killing everybody because they're fucking crazy.
Man, if you look at it that way, it is a much better movie.
They are just wow.
Very different movie.
Yes.
Is there a sequel to this?
No.
Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing this redone though.
The
I feel like-
Frighteners.
I feel like a reboot would be awesome.
Because they could do it a lot better.
Yeah. Okay, so he makes it to the museum. He goes in, and now this main news lady's losing her shit because he's there. He kind of says under his breath, sort of, but apparently she catches it where he goes, "You're next," and she flips out, taking it as a threat. And I guess
So,
I
like-
don't blame her.
Also, the fuck? Because she was there when this other dude clearly fucking died with Frank nowhere nearby.
Yes.
How is he the fucking killer?
Right?
We got some gun-happy cops.
wow. Yeah, this scene was
because
So,
weird.
There was a few of these,
didn't
like
want them
the-
to shoot.
The personal bubble and this. I was like, these are kind of like relating to current times.
Yes, these cops are just going. It's probably one of those things like, "Hey, we never see action. This is a tiny little hick town. Let's just like light it up."
Yeah, there's like crowds of people all over the place, and they're like, "All right, let's throw bullets."
I mean,
like the
that's
judge.
honestly
What
not
the
that different
heck?
from real life.
Yeah,
When,
it's true.
when the fucking judge showed up and a fucking beautiful figure and whatnot. That was hilarious.
I kind of chuckled a little bit, but it was more of a what the fuck. He starts humping and his butt is going in and
yeah.
out of the sarcophagus. And it's
I
like,
like it
are
when
you
it
shitting me
stands
that they're doing that? It's like, we got the joke the first time they made it.
Yeah.
They didn't need to show that.
They
I
doubled
like
down
it
on
when
that
they
joke.
stands too.
Yeah, because then later on,
that was
didn't he
so
say-
creepy when he,
Didn't he say like I'm not dried out anymore or something?
Oh yeah, he's excited.
He's got
yeah.
his juices flowing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
over.
After he shoots the
his load.
Reaper, he goes, I'm not shooting blanks.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And then, by the way, he shows up out of nowhere. I don't know why he's there, but he saves the day with his like 6 shooters.
I was just so uncomfortable with the ghost gunfights constantly.
Yeah,
it's just weird. It's so weird. In the afterlife, it's just the same.
Well, yeah, but here's the deal.
Nothing changes.
It doesn't make sense. That's my biggest gripe with this movie is that nothing makes sense. However, I will say ghost bullets affecting other ghosts, at least that kind of makes sense. I mean, that would be like our bullets not hurting ghosts, which they shouldn't, and hurting us because, well, it's kind of on the same material plane.
Also, why does the ghost sight seem to kill them permanently?
Yes. And then his bullets, like, even though he's
Because it's
hitting
a
this
Reaper.
guy, he's not, though.
But yeah, he's not. 'Cause that's the same thing. I'm like, oh, he's the Reaper, so he gets to do this. But he's just a costume.
Also, yeah, okay. Why does he get to, like, none of the other ghosts change their outfits? They literally say that in the beginning. It's like, you're a ghost. You don't get
Yes.
to change your clothes. Why is this dude getting to go as a, cosplay as a Grim Reaper?
Ghosts can kill other ghosts, except for, in this instance, he can tear apart everybody else and they die. And he's not a Reaper. He's just another ghost. But yet, they shoot him. They literally rip his face off. And he's okay. He's good.
So if
I mean-
a ghost kills a ghost, does the ghost get a ghost?
I don't know.
Can you double ghost?
Does he just go to another plane?
Ah.
So now Mr. Disco and the nerd are going to get him out of this pickle with the police and get him out of the museum so he can track down this Reaper thing. And we get this really horrible slapstick scene of this getaway. I mean, this is
the fire truck scene, is it not?
I think once they leave the museum, that does come into play. But it's like getting out of the museum with the revolving door and the car engines.
I thought that the two ghosts like sort of possessed the mummy by just moving it around.
Yes,
I thought that was creative.
that was cool.
Yeah,
I thought
I
that
like
was
that.
really neat.
I won't discredit that. This whole escaping the museum scene is just almost like trying to be comedic on a child's level.
Oh yeah.
I was actually a little annoyed when they went into the revolving door and started going faster because I didn't realize the other ghosts had followed them. I was less annoyed when the other ghosts were running in it.
Thank you.
Right?
I found that same thing when it was going fast. I'm like, this is dumb. But then when you see the other ghosts like
Just paddling.
paddling it.
Okay, in my mind I realized the ghosts were. I thought the ghosts were in and running around in circles.
That would have made more sense.
But when I saw they were paddling it, I was annoyed again.
But I also think here's the thing though. I think that by making them paddle it that way versus running through it probably cost a lot less in the CGI. Could you imagine trying to animate ghosts running in a circle with all that stuff going around versus just standing static with some flippy hands?
Ghost of the Guns. He got killed there, didn't he?
Yes, that's right, because the Reaper scythed him in half. But at least, he got one more good lay-in before he died again, which I kind of feel bad.
Double death.
Because where's he going now? He's not going to heaven. Is he going to purgatory?
We don't know.
I like how now the cops are just like dizzy, shooting into a crowd of people panicking in a parking lot.
Yes.
And then for some reason, the other ghosts are like getting chopped up in like the cars, machinery.
Yes.
And weird stuff's going on.
Yeah,
this is not making
because
any
the
sense.
nerd gets sucked into the car and shot out the exhaust, and it's like,
Yeah, why?
And it's like how he escapes with her, though. He just popped her in the face, grabbed her, and left.
That's right, because he's trying to save this bitchy news lady. He punches her in the face, knocks her out, throws her over his shoulder, which, man, how the hell did he get through the revolving door with that? I mean, he did.
I don't know.
But whatever. So he makes it out to his car, and they leave. And you know what? Surprise, surprise. He crashes his car again. I hate this guy. I hate yes. They crawl out of the car, and I know I shouldn't pick on the CG. Yes, it's 96.
Yeah.
But the Reaper looks the worst right here. Was she bitching and complaining as she was ascending to heaven?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was a murderer. Are you happy that you killed me, that you murdered me, you murderer?
I like how he just shows up and he's like, hey, there's a dead person by my car.
Yeah.
He's like so casual about
And there's
this.
just the sheriff like,
He seems defeated.
Frank.
Yeah.
It's like, again.
Yeah, I know.
Why are you always around these corpses, man?
But yeah, because he even says, I even made note of it, because he's like, Frank, did you have anything to do with her death? And it's just like, he's so casual about this.
And actually, I think this
I love
around this
that.
scene is Michael J. Fox's best acting in the movie. When he's being kind of arrested for questioning, and then like that woman's like, you didn't do anything, you're a good guy. And he's like, am I?
Yes.
Am I really? And this is when I started thinking, holy crap, is he really just hallucinating all this stuff and just murdering people? Because now he's questioning himself here.
Yes.
Is he like battling like this weird second personality that comes out and kills people?
They introduced like new aspects of this movie.
Yeah.
Like, every 10 minutes, like we said
I
that
know,
earlier.
yeah. It got really weird.
I would have liked if they went in that direction. Like, it would have been really cool.
Yeah.
I don't hate the direction they went in. I just think it would have been way better if they went what you just said.
Yeah.
It would have.
Or it's like convince him that he was the killer, even though
Yeah.
he wasn't. So he had to battle with the fact that, because
It's almost like a My Bloody Valentine setup.
You're right, though. This doesn't make sense. And I even made note of it. They take him into custody, and Lucy flips out, and she's like, no, you can't. He's such a good guy. No, blah, blah, blah. She's known him for less than like a couple of hours.
That's what I was weirded out about. Like, why? What proof does she have?
Yes. I would have been like, oh my God, this is like creepy. Like, I'm glad I didn't get murdered. But she's like, no, don't. It's Frank. He's so great.
The relationship and mental state between her and Frank just gets weirder and weirder as the movie goes on.
Yeah, they just seem, the way this movie plays out, it just seems like their relationship is so cemented so quickly.
You think you're quite unique, don't you, Mr. Bannister? But in my business, I deal with your type every other week. This death figure is nothing more than a homicidal alter ego that satisfies your compulsion to kill. No. Every time you want to take somebody out, Death Figure suddenly appears, does the job for you. It's your rational mind's way of absolving yourself of guilt.
No!
When did you first start seeing spirits, Frank? After Deborah's death? You killed your wife.
No!
This FBI agent, he is hell bent on pinning apparently 28 murders on Frank. And I love the sheriff. He's, oh, come on, it's Frank.
Right?
The sheriff.
Oh my God.
He don't believe
An
Frank
accomplice
did
at this
shit.
point.
Seriously. Oh my God, I do. I love the sheriff so much, though. He's so funny.
He's just such a nice guy.
But
He
yeah.
just wants to be your
Sheriff.
friend.
The FBI guy kicks out the sheriff so he can have a little one-on-one with Frank. Here's a question. Russell, I already know your answer. Did anyone else think that Michael J. Fox wasn't even trying in this scene?
I don't think he was trying in the movie.
When he's like trying to act all shook and no, it's like, it is so bad.
But you know, he was pretty young during this time. You have to start practicing your acting skills somewhere.
He had better movies before the Frighteners.
How much was he getting paid for the Frighteners, though?
Yeah.
You know? Was he like,
there we
eh,
go.
I'm getting paid half what I usually get paid. I'm putting in half the effort.
I have to ask this, and I forgot about this question. I'm glad I wrote it down. After this scene with the FBI guy, Lucy goes to Frank's house. There's no reason for her to be there.
I think what she's trying to do is trying to find a way, because she's upset that he got arrested. She's trying to find a way to like make it seem like he wasn't there. She's looking for something. And you know, she's probably like, where do I start? I guess I'll start at his house.
Confirming her thoughts on his character.
And Ray was with him.
By, snooping through his house like a fucking stalker.
Yeah, I guess.
Does anything important happen in this scene?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember
Like the
it.
driving force of the plot to get her to the mansion of the old ladies.
What happens at his house that gets her to the mansion?
Because it is within this scene.
Oh, yeah, fuck, I remember.
The phone rings.
Oh, yeah.
And the answering machine goes off as they did back in the day. And she can hear everything. It is old Mrs. Bradley. And she needs Frank to help her drive away the boyfriend's spirit that's like taunting Patricia or something. I don't know.
Boyfriend's back and
how do we know it's the boyfriend, though?
I don't know. I actually think she said something about that. I don't know how she knows. I mean, she knows the ashes in that are there.
She just
so
said he's back.
Oh, well, maybe. It is within the house scene, by the way, before she even makes it to the mansion. Yes, we say goodbye to Ray. The Reaper did show up and apparently peeled his ghost skin off his ghost innards or something.
Wait,
What?
Yeah, because you see like his rubbery outer bits land on the top of a car.
Were we watching? Oh, wait.
Oh, because he stabbed his head. He stabbed his head with the freaking scythe.
It deflated him.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
he deflated him.
He's a balloon.
Yeah, ghosts are balloons.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. All right, so whatever.
That makes a lot of sense.
She
I
can't.
was so confused there for a second.
Yes, he dies, and he's like, apparently whatever's on the inside of a ghost has been stripped away. He deflated, whatever. She discovers the box cutter, so now she has to tell Frank of her new findings. So she runs to the police station, and all I know is while she's there, he sees 41 on her forehead, and he is flipping out. And here's what I don't get: Mr. Disco and the Nerd come out of nowhere. Where were they?
Just probably chilling outside.
Why?
I mean,
They had nothing better to do.
Yeah, what else is he gonna
I
do?
don't know.
They ain't got nothing better to do.
Ghosties? They're like, whatever.
Yeah,
they don't
That's
care.
his buddy.
They just hang out with them, They're his emotional support ghosts.
I'm pretty sure that it's this scene where they try to keep the Reaper from getting the girl and to save also Frank. They try and tackle him, but the Reaper does. He kills both of them.
And this is weird because you have to imagine this from her perspective now. She's in this room, and all of a sudden there's this only other guy in there. I was like, oh my God. And he's just looking around. Nothing's happening as far as she's concerned.
Yes.
He's like, quickly, call for the sheriff. I'm going to escape. Oh God. Oh, and like, I would be like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Right?
Yeah.
People around you keep dying. You're hallucinating in this room.
They peace out pretty quick.
I don't want to be in this
wait.
cell with you.
He would look like he's tripping hard.
Yeah.
Didn't the ghost get a hold of her at one point? And she's like, it felt like my heart was being
Yeah,
crushed.
it
And
was
then
in-
that's when all
yeah.
this
It was
starts
in the
happening.
room.
Yeah, but like, still, this is fishy.
Yeah,
this is super
it's
fishy.
a little crazy. Here's
Got the violent essence.
there's a scene as they're running through, because not only are they dealing with this Reaper, but they're also dealing with this FBI agent. And I hate this. This is so stupid. The whole movie, I hate this. Do you know what I'm going to say?
I think so, and I love this part. I thought this was hilarious. I wrote it down. Is this when the agent gets knocked down?
Yes.
and gets kicked.
Yes.
This is the best.
No.
This is the best. Because Frank kicks him and the gun just pops out. It's like a gun dispenser. So he just grabs it.
I
All
was
right.
actually really happy when he got knocked down and Frank ran over and gave him a kick. I'm like, yeah, he deserved that. Fuck that guy. But when the gun popped out, I just started cracking up.
Oh my god,
It
it's
popped out, he grabbed.
so
when
stupid.
he gave him a kick, at first I was like, that doesn't seem like Frank's character.
Yeah.
To just kick somebody. I liked how the gun popped out perfectly straight up to like
Yes.
to like arm level where he just kind of grabs it.
Yep.
Just casually.
Perfectly.
Kick. Whoop.
And as
Moving
soon as
on.
we get out of the building, he knows right now he needs an out of body experience to take
fuck
this thing on.
Fuck this whole next scene. This is the dumbest shit.
And there's only one way to do it. So he puts the revolver to his head, and she's like, she gives it a beat. She wants to see what's gonna happen for a second.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you know what? No. I have a better way to do this. We go to the
I hate
we go
this.
to the doctor's office, and she shoots him up with something. She gives him an injection of the stuff that's going to
I feel
slow
like
his heart rate and cool his body temperature.
I don't know
Well,
what this
she's
stuff
gonna
is
cool his
called.
body temperature because he put him in the freezer.
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes
I
sense.
don't know what this shit's called, but they use it in fucking everything. It's like almost a movie, like TV show trope. It's like, oh, you'll appear
It's an
dead
easy
for-
way out.
You'll appear
Yes.
dead for 15 to 20 minutes, and
Can your soul leave your body while you're appearing dead?
Yes.
apparently
near
this
death.
stuff, like from what they explain it in most things, is like it stops your heart. Like you're
Okay, so then he's gonna have
It's like
brain damage in like
yeah.
8 minutes.
Yes.
Not 20 minutes. This guy's gonna be a
you get
vegetable.
him-
Oh,
20 minutes?
is that? Well, that's what I was going to
20
ask because I thought it was like 10 or 15.
No,
I
it was
couldn't remember.
20.
It was
Okay,
20 minutes.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. She wants to do it in a way where he has a chance, even if it's slim, but a chance where he could survive this out of body experience so that he doesn't have to kill himself. But okay, so he leaves his body and he is all over the place because he doesn't know how to use his ghostly powers. Now, Frank and Lucy end up at the cemetery, just random chance coincidence.
Yeah, because Frank's there fighting with the dude, and then
Yes.
I think on the way into the cemetery,
it's not really random chance.
he shot.
No, it's random because why the hell is the FBI agent taking her there?
Okay, so Frank is there.
Yes.
Was Frank there first?
Yeah, Frank's there first because that's when they ran into Ermi, and Ermi shot at him, and
Okay,
then got
fuck it, it's random because
But
I
why
was
are
gonna
they
say,
at the
fucked up.
cemetery?
Yeah.
And I thought Frank and the Reaper went there after because the Reaper's obviously chasing her.
I don't know. I feel like they just threw a cemetery scene in there because cemetery is spooky.
It's probably because they
yeah.
paid
Because
Yeah.
God,
Ermi
maybe
so
you're
much
right.
money.
because that whole thing is like, so when it happened and they showed up, and then he took Ermi's guns after he got fucked up and shot the hell out of the ghost. He took the face that looked like a monster and just beat the shit out of it. Find out it's
Who are you?
Surprise,
Where's
surprise! It's Johnny Bartlett or whatever.
Yeah,
Yes,
Johnny Bartlett.
There's just this whole mess of shit.
There's a goopy escape into the catacombs. He goes to finish him with the scythe, and she resuscitates him.
Lucy goes back to the house.
She fucking took off.
I think she went because she thought she was Bartlett's ex-girl or Bartlett's girlfriend was in danger.
It's making sense now because yes, she thinks that Patricia lady is innocent, and now that he's back, she thinks she's in danger and wants her out of the house even more now.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. So
But like I said, when she gets there, I think she said she needs to get her out of there, and the mother says
Yes.
she's not leaving.
Right.
She stays here.
and like
And then her
there's
mother goes into her room.
Right.
But then she goes up and to talk to her mother, and then it's just quiet.
She comes back down, and she's like, "Oh, mother said she wants to go to the police."
right, and like there's this weird passage of time where now she knows something seems weird. She sees like she's just acting kind of like a little off. And so she goes upstairs to talk to the mom now to see, I guess ask her some questions or something, and she's all sliced up on the bed. This is the only creepy part. When she comes running with that knife behind her through the doorway, it was the creepiest, like her face and everything. She's just a creepy lady, actually.
I was gonna say actually all the scenes where she was supposed to be crazy, I thought she did pretty well. 'Cause
Yes.
she has a pretty good crazy face.
Yeah, I think
like,
the craziest or creepiest part or whatever is later on when she's gonna murder the one person with the like pickaxe thing,
yeah.
and she's like, I don't know, like having a weird seizure while she's like grabbing it. I don't know, weird.
Yeah,
Yes.
the psycho fit with that damn thing.
But yeah, so Frank shows up to help her out of the situation because now she's kind of barricaded herself in this room, which I'm not even sure I know how she got out of.
what happened was she stabbed at her into the mother's room.
Right.
She missed, so she stepped out and she closed the door. She stabbed at her again.
She shot through the fucking door.
Yeah, so like she's
yeah.
in her mother's room. That's where she gets the shotgun. Is out of the mother's closet.
And then Lucy tries to head downstairs.
Okay.
And then the carpet comes up and grabs her, and then that's when Frank shows up.
While they're in the house, I think they realize it's like, oh, they got to get Bartlett's ashes to
Yes.
like holy ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause they
Yeah.
they found the ashes and they rubbed the thing off, or rubbed it, and it showed his name, and they
Right.
closed it.
And that's
And
when
then-
Frank was like, we got to get it to like holy ground or whatever. And she suggests the chapel at the old hospital. Apparently it must be the closest, I guess.
Granted, now this is made in the 90s. TVs were not high definition back then.
Right.
You couldn't notice a lot of things. But I'm watching this movie and all the props, and for some reason, especially that urn, just looked so fake and styrofoam. And they have other things later, like he breaks on a door or something, I think in the hospital with like a
Yeah.
chunk of wood. Even the wood looks like styrofoam.
Dude, that shit was made out of balsa.
Everything looks like it weighs half an ounce.
Yes.
No matter what size it is, and it just everything looks really cheap.
Not gonna lie.
I like how
actually-
they didn't even have a front door for the hospital. Everybody entered through that window because they probably didn't want to make an extra area, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't want to build an entryway to a hospital, so
Yeah.
they just had everyone come in through a window.
I haven't seen anything made out of balsa wood though since I was in elementary school. Like holy shit.
Did you say elementary school?
I mean, you know,
Elementary school.
He didn't say he graduated.
Patrick's rubbing off on me.
Guys, that's hot.
Give that to me. Let me guess. You have to get these ashes to consecrated ground in order to destroy the forces of evil.
Give me the goddamn urn, dammers!
Under no circumstances must these ashes ever be released.
No!
Oops.
You have no idea what you've just done.
You just don't get it, do you, Frank? This is all about your pathetic need for self-glorification.
You are such an asshole.
Yes, I am. I'm an asshole.
With a new thing.
Well, I want to say like when he went to save the reporter lady, when he went to save her,
Magnum
and the car
Posh.
crashed and everything, it felt more of like what the movie should have been after that point.
I think the second half of the movie is better
because
than
that's
the
where
first
the,
half.
I think the
basically
last third.
because that was the
yeah.
halfway point.
I think the last third is the only good part about this movie. And the hospital scene is done really well because you get this where he's walking through the dilapidated hospital and he's getting crazy like premonitions and it's really good. However, while all this is going on, they're being chased by Patricia and fucking Dahmer shows up. Dahmers. Not like
Dammers.
Jeffrey. Dammers. Dammers, man. I can't give names right
I
now.
love this scene.
This is,
This is the joke that made me laugh.
Let's
I
hear
love
it. Let's hear it.
When he shows up and he was like telling Michael J. Fox character is telling Dammers, you're an asshole.
Yes.
And he's like, yes, I am an asshole. With an Uzi. Because first of all, why does he have an Uzi?
Yeah, you know what?
He had it earlier.
Was
I
that
don't know
like
why.
at that point, or was
I don't
it-
think they give FBI agents Uzis.
I will grant that. That was,
I think
that was
most
kind of
Secret Service
that-
had
he
Uzis.
didn't do that until after he
Maybe.
dumped out the ashes, was it?
No, oh no.
Oh, that was pretty funny too. I like how he did that.
He's just like,
This
oops.
I have issues with this because he's been involved in all these cults and all this shit, and he believes in all this weird paranormal stuff and whatnot. And he is telling him, "I got to get this to holy ground," and he's like kind of mocking, like, "Oh, let me guess, if you get this to holy ground and blah 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 blah," and he's going on, and I'm like, "Wait, now you're choosing not to believe this shit? This makes no
this
sense."
motherfucker's got shit carved all over his
Yes.
body, and he
Fuck
thought he
it.
was moving
Yeah,
a car with his mind, and it's like he doesn't believe this.
I think
Yes.
he believes in the ability to control things with your mind because he thought that Michael J. Fox could kill people with his mind. I don't think he necessarily believes in ghosts. He's under the impression that Frank is using this whole ghost thing to cover up the crimes that he's committing with his mind.
I guess.
So when
I
he's
guess.
like, it's the ghost that's trapped in the urn, he's like, you mean this one right here? Oops.
Yeah.
I love, though, how quickly he's like, would it be bad if I opened it? Opened.
You know what? I hate CG, but if you cannot do this right, you don't even need it. You don't need it.
Talking about the head pop.
Yes.
I thought that was actually kind of cool.
Seriously?
No,
I thought it was kind of
I liked
neat.
it.
This
I liked
amused
it.
me because I love how this like pow, and all of a sudden you see his head pop, and you just see Ghost Head like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought
like
that was neat.
I like,
Okay.
I like the shocked expression on Ghost face.
The effects were not good.
No.
But we already know this is the 90s.
Yeah.
So I'm throwing the effects out the window. But the idea that as soon as she blows his head off, his head is still there in his ghost form. I thought that was really cool.
That was cool, but the weird, glossy, animated stump that you got left over, that was so bad.
It was, but
because they're still.
I feel like it would have been really easy to do a practical effect there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox, to get out of this sticky situation of a gun being pointed at him at both ends of this hallway, just falls. And he doesn't just go through this floor with a hole in it.
Motherfucker falls through like every floor in this building.
He does.
Fuck
I think he goes all the way to the basement or something.
Does.
I thought for sure he was just going to get up and be like, oh, my back, or something stupid like that. But no, I don't think he really ever got up after that.
No,
he was down.
in pain.
So now this lady makes it down there, this Patricia lady with her shotgun and her flashlight. Tensions are building. She has the gun to his head. Lucy is being held down at this point by that Johnny guy, and it's like fingers on the trigger. Did anybody else think that the gun was actually going to go off? Anybody?
No, it was too there's too much build up, too much.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It was too dramatic. It was like,
if it would have been like just for a second or two, but it just like it felt like it drawn on forever. It's like it's not gonna go off.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah.
But I did like after that though, she just beats him with the stock of the gun.
Yeah, she just starts wailing on him. That was funny. I
and
liked that.
She chokes him out.
Yep.
And I was like, all right.
And then the
I'm cool
worst
with
scene
that.
in the movie happens.
Oh. So yes, they're now Johnny and his beloved girlfriend are going to kill Lucy. And I'm sure you guys can see this coming too, where Michael J. Fox's spirit comes.
Franklin, the
Yeah, I
friendly
knew that
ghost,
was
comes
gonna
here and
happen.
yeets this chick's soul into the afterlife.
Yeah.
First of all, he's only been a spirit one time before and didn't know what the hell he was doing. And now he knows it enough already where he grabs Patricia's spirit out of her body and kills her. It's that easy?
Yeah, he's been studying this for a while now.
Why
It's
hasn't
his profession?
Why hasn't Johnny been doing this the whole time, just walking around like pushing souls out of body?
Because they've got to be actually killed, not just poof. No, he wants
Then
to
why-
actually feel the life leave their body instead of just going push.
Yeah, I guess he's kind
when
of a
you're
psycho.
a killer, you gotta feel the death. You can't just be like push. Oh, you're dead now.
The old express bus to hell. No lines, no wait.
It's really something, isn't it? Excellent libraries.
Premium cigars.
And of course, the honeys.
Yeah, about that. Stu's a regular chick magnet up here. Huh.
Frank grabs Patricia's soul out of her body and is going to take her with him up the light tunnel to heaven. And then, of course, Johnny is chasing thereafter to bring her back down. I can't remember how. I don't really care. But Patricia and Johnny, they don't make it all the way up. Frank
because he
does.
lets go.
Yes.
This movie turns into Tremors 7.
Thank you. Yes, I was thinking that.
I was thinking Beetlejuice.
I thought of a graboid immediately.
I did too.
And I was like,
I really
oh
did.
my God.
But it was weird, man, how they did it. Because like all of a sudden she's in like a colon, and there's little colon worms coming out,
Yes.
like intestinal worms, picking the souls apart.
Hell is just Satan.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And I think Frank actually went in to go after them before it even turned into that. But then the nerd and Mr. Disco were like, no,
I
stand
don't
back,
know if
trust
he
us.
was going in or if he was just getting like a better view and leaning over.
But either way, they're like, you watch, stand back. We learn a few things here in heaven. They got great cigars. They got great libraries, and it's full of women. Woman? It's full of women.
One
It is
woman.
It's full of one woman.
One very large woman. Filling all of heaven.
It's a Smurf
Many holes.
situation, and it's filled with women. And then his wife shows up and is like, "Hey, go home. It's not your time."
And then they just push him. Whoa.
He comes to. We get this weird ending where the sheriff shows up. He's got an idea for a book and kind of drives off with Dammers in the back
Yeah,
seat.
because he's like, you can write there
Come
with
on.
your assistant. And he's like,
Okay.
oh, that's funny.
Let's face it. He is not going to pass on.
No, he is an angry
going to be
soul.
a salty bitch because he's going to find out. Like,
No, and that's fine that he's gonna be all salty. But why is he just chilling in the back of the cruiser? It's stupid. Go do something else. Go view all your cults and shit.
and there's only his ectoplasm in the front seat.
I guess.
This for me was the biggest question: is who the hell is believing Lucy and Frank's story on all of this? All this crazy shit happened. People are dying.
It's
They're
Frank.
shooting guns all over the place. Like they're in all these places, and it's like, listen, there's like this hellish Beetlejuice worm. There's some ghosts and stuff. It's all fine. It's all fine. So they can like okay, we're buying it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's Frank, so I'll take whatever story you're going to feed
it's just
me.
weird. I feel like a lot of stuff happened. A lot of crimes were
Frank's
committed.
just been through some shit.
And
So they didn't want to be mean to him.
there would have been no physical evidence of there being ghosts or spirits doing it because they live in the metaphysical. So law enforcement and the justice system's taking these two nut jobs' word on it that, like, well, some otherworldly stuff happened. It's fine.
I mean,
okay, you're free to go.
Law enforcement already shot up a museum full of innocent people. They probably just wanted to sweep everything that's happening under the rug. And it's like, we don't want national coverage here.
But best part, guess what happens?
Movie ends.
Yeah, well, yes, thank God. That does happen. Thank God. But no,
that'd be your favorite part.
I'm saying Lucy now can see spirits.
Yeah.
So now
So dumb.
they get new 70s Ghost and new 50s Ghost, and they restart the business and make another movie doing that because I want to see that movie.
You know what? No, cue credits because the film is done. It is done. Isaiah, you know what time it is?
Time for ratings and reviews.
Final thoughts and ratings. You love this movie. You picked this movie.
I like the movie.
I want to know what you. I am dying to know what you think of this.
Did it live up to your memories?
Well, as I've said before, like I've only watched it once. I can't say I watched it once. When I was younger, I watched it a few times. I remember bits and pieces here and there, but the problem is, it's a good movie. There's not enough of it that keeps it memorable. It's good, it's a fun watch, but it's not memorable enough because you'll go like days later and you try to talk about it and your brain's just like, nope, it didn't exist. And you're just like, fuck. Like you'll remember one line of the entire movie. And then when you try to talk about a character, your brain just like, it nopes out and you're all right. And it's like, okay, well, that's cool. But like my rating though wise, I'm going to be fair and try to give it a 5. Fairness.
It's a
sake.
Ghost 5.
Yeah, we're giving it a Ghost 5.
It gets a 5 and a Ghost 5. It's a 10.
Oh, nice.
I'll do that.
Don't do that.
Try to cheat me on my rating. Just because I like all the theories and the bullshit from you, we're going to go with Russell.
It's really difficult because I like some of the scenes. Like the hospital scene was pretty cool. How it kept going back and forth. I thought it was really dark. How like, especially the scene where he's under the bed and like she's shooting the people with the shotgun in the beds and their arms are like falling down. I thought this was like really disturbing. So there are some aspects that I think are good because originally I'm watching the movie and I'm like, I'm going to give this thing like a 3. It's just crap. But I felt that there were some parts that were worth watching. There were some scenes that were good. So I think I'm going to go with a 4.5.
Ooh.
Frank, what's yours?
All right. So after reading the Discord messages that were going on, I went into this movie with super, super low expectations. And I didn't hate it. I'd say the movie is super forgettable, but it's definitely worth a watch. It's a straight up solid 5. Like, it's just middle of the road.
I can see it.
Right.
Oh, man. I'm really disappointed. I watched this a few times when I was younger, and I remember liking it. I am exactly where you are.
That's it.
I remember liking it and getting into it. They're right back to, they tried to do this comedy stuff, and they made everything in the story and their logic and their physics work for what they needed to happen when they wanted it to happen. So when you're watching the movie, it's kind of confusing. It's kind of lame. It's weird because it's an R-rated movie with childlike comedy. So I feel like they missed their demographic, or maybe they got a rating they weren't expecting to get.
The hospital scene was a tad too dark for PG-13.
Well, right.
Yeah, I agree with you that this was like a PG-13 movie.
Yes.
With some R stuff thrown in for no reason.
Right.
Well, what's also funny is if this movie had come out in, like, say, today's time,
right,
it would be a PG movie, probably.
Yes, and I feel
there wasn't
like
even any swearing in this movie at all.
They did say shit a couple of times.
Did they? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
shit, and he fell in the yeah. Okay.
But that's the thing. I feel like if they had got a lower rating, it probably would have done better, because I feel like they kind of missed the middle ground demographic that would have probably appreciated this movie a lot more. It does have scenes that are pretty good. I'm not in love with all the characters. I don't know. I'll just be honest with you. When you picked it, I was kind of looking forward to it, and then when I started watching it, it was a huge letdown. So I don't know. I will give this because I don't think it's. Here's the thing. It's a fair movie. It is fine. I don't think it's horrible. People should see it. I can understand the entertainment value. I will give this a 4.5 because
you just copied me.
I think it's yes, fine. I will shadow you. It's entertaining.
He's gonna ghost you.
It is entertaining. I mean, I could see why people would like this movie. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I think I had it so built up in my mind that I was let down more than what I really truly am. Or I feel like I was let down more than what I was
It's
really
the opposite of me. I went in with completely low expectations, so I came out of it with a more enjoyable viewing experience.
It's fair. I'm not going to say it's horrible. I'm not going to say it's extremely bad or like that. It's just it is a fair movie.
I was let down with Michael J. Fox because I like Michael J. Fox.
Yeah,
I thought it would be better.
And I felt like he just didn't do a very good job with this one.
He did not bring the Fox. So that's 5 from Mike, 4.5 from Russell, 5 from Isaiah. And 4.5. Why do I always want to say 5?
5.
That's the second time I did that last episode. And 4.5 from yours truly. Guys, I want to thank you so much for listening in on the conversation, but you know what? You can do more than just listen. That's right, you can be a part of it. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Rewind Guys Pod. That's REWGUYSPOD. Or email us at REWGUYSPOD@gmail.com and let us know what you think about this movie or any movie we've reviewed here on the podcast. Hope to see you guys next week.
Turns into Tremors 7.
Thank you. Yes, I was thinking that.
I was thinking Beetlejuice.
No, I was thinking of some sort of like hellish graboid.
Somebody is cooking something. Okay, because I'm like, dude, it's smelling so good in here all of a sudden. What is that?
It's probably just a
It's
TV
like
dinner.
when you smell burnt toast, you're having a stroke.
I know. I was like,
You smell McRib.
if somebody just farted right now, it smells delicious.
I farted earlier, but thankfully it was silent.
It's getting better with age.
Like cheese.